Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14. That's a big one. A lot of people get this one misunderstood, so I'm just going to go over it real quick and I'll end with it, even though there's every single one of the verses that my opponent has brought up. Every one of them have been misunderstood. I could go through each one of them. I have many teachings on each one of these. So for he is himself our peace, who has made both one, has broken down the middle wall of separation, and abolished in his flesh the enmity, that is the law of contained commandments, as I already made that very clear, that he's not getting rid of the law of God. Or we've got massive schizophrenia in the New Testament of disciples telling us to keep the commandments of God, to keep the law of God. And I will leave you with this. In Romans chapter 8, it says this. It says this. In verse 9, it says, you are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now, if anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. And if Christ is in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit of life is because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give you life. So he says, therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live according to the flesh, for we are not to live by the flesh, but by the Spirit. For as many are led by the Spirit of God, these are sons of God, for you do not receive the spirit of bondage. He says, for you do not receive the spirit of bondage, but against the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness, and he goes on and says that those who have the Spirit of God actually keep the law of God. Those who are in the flesh cannot.